Welcome to the Ibiza Live TV show, where we bring you the best of Ibiza. My name's Lucia, I'm your host for today, and I have the privilege of being joined by Phil Thomas, who is the founder, the everything, with the amazing tonic, Botink. Welcome to the show, Phil. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
So you have been a busy man. You've been creating this incredible, I mean, you can see it down here as well, this amazing tonic that is made here in Ibiza. So tell us about it. How did it start?
It's a good question. Basically, it all started with a question. When I was working here at REVA, I started playing around with gin and tonics, and I was thinking, how can you make these better? And you look at all the gins that are around on the market, and they've got such a wonderful array of flavours, and they get them all from botanicals. And then I thought, well, you've got all these flavours and gins, you really got to start looking at the tonic water if you really want to start changing the gin and tonic. And I thought, what if you apply the same process of using real botanicals to make tonic water? And that's essentially how the first one came about.
How is it normally made?
It's kind of a long story, I guess, and to start at the beginning, you look at where the history of tonic water and how it came about.
Okay.
And it used to be that when England was a colony of, when India was part of the English Empire, the British officers stationed there at the time, they used to get a daily ration of quinine. And quinine is an anti-malarial drug which stopped them catching malaria, and it's horribly bitter, and they started mixing it with gin, lime and soda to make it taste better. So that's where the gin and tonic came from. And it eventually, Schweppes started making, they weren't the first company, they were the second, but they became the largest. So Schweppes started making tonic water, and they got more commercial, and so they started using chemical flavours, synthesised quinine in the laboratory, and the end result was something that just wasn't that tasty. So when I started looking into the history and the medicinal properties, where quinine comes from, I thought, let's use real ingredients, real botanicals, and make it that way. And the flavour result that came out of it was just really nice.
Amazing. So you can actually do the taste test then, and you'll be able to taste that naturalness, I suppose, that comes from your product.
Yes, it's completely different. When you get a commercially made tonic with synthetic quinine, it's got that chemical kind of taste to it. Where the quinine I use, particularly in the clear tonic, comes from the East Congo in Africa, and I've got quite a high amount of quinine in there, but the bitterness is a lot more soft. It's softer and more rounded, and because the balancing botanicals that I use, which include wild herbs from Ibiza, it just makes a much nicer drink.
So it's all made here in Ibiza?
100%, yeah.
Amazing. And so what goes into it? How do you make it? You said you use wild herbs from the island. Which herbs do you use? So
there's rosemary, which we've got here, bay leaves, and there's some lemons, and we also use yuzu. Now yuzu isn't typically a Ibizan citrus fruit, it's actually from Japan, but it's got such a nice citrus flavour, we add that in as well. To make them, there's two different kinds. One is the classic style and one is the natural style. The classic style uses the pure quinine, which is extracted from cinchona trees, which this one is from the East Congo in Africa, which is a really high quality one. And then the natural one is a slightly different style. So quinine is an alkaloid found naturally in the cinchona tree, and we get the bark of the cinchona tree and do an extraction using just water and the tree bark. Now that's why it's got that colour. So you extract other things other than quinine out of there, which is all locked up in the colour as well. And the bitterness ends up being a lot more delicate and a lot more complicated. And one of the side effects of that is when you mix it with gin, it really showcases the gin a lot more. So it works very well as a mixer.
I think it's time we go and try this now and put it to the test. So we're here getting ready to do the taste test with our wonderful barman, Gabriele. He is a wizard, so I can't wait to see what he cooks up for us. So this is the really hard part now. We actually have to sample these beautiful cocktails. So thanks again. Thanks very much, Phil.
Thank
Cheers.
You very much. Cheers.
Cheers. And remember, you can be getting your very own boutique Botink in the comfort of your own home and keeping that Ibiza vibe going. So thanks for watching and enjoy your boating soon. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.